Welcome to Darts Etiquette, a two-part mini-series where we are going over how best to perform in your online and in-person darts matches. So welcome to part 2. This one is all about in-person play, real life darts, and for a lot of people it can be quite the scary process, quite the scary jump from playing in the comfort of your own home to going into the pub and playing in front of potentially 20 plus people. Now, a little backstory into how this all began. I was doom scrolling on TikTok a few days ago and I came across a video that was mentioning things that I didn't really agree, but this was only towards online darts, and I thought to myself, well, there needs to be a video for online darts, which I released a few days ago, and this video here for people who want to go out into the pub and maybe already do but need to know in a professional manner. So the first point I mentioned in the last video stands for this video as well. Respect the player. If you know them, if you don't know them, always show that player respect. Don't think too much yourself. You're not a professional. Obviously, if you were a professional, you wouldn't be playing in the pub league, and you probably wouldn't be watching this video either. One of the main differences I found when going into the pub league is obviously you have your two players, but you also have a marker and a checker. As the players, like I said, you show respect to your opponent, but you should also show respect to the marker and checker as well. You show them respect, they should show you respect as well. Now, you are playing in a pub atmosphere. It's going to be loud. There's going to be people talking, shouting, laughing, music going off. Hopefully not too much of a high level, but before the game starts, the checker will announce that the game is about to begin, and 9 times out of 10 it does tone down a bit, but as the match is going on, the volume creeps back up, and you've got to get used to that. Although you're playing in a pub, imagine what it's like to be Gerwyn Price, Luke Humphreys, Luke Littler, playing on these big stages with thousands of people screaming at you. But the checker should have some sort of control over what's going on. Before the match begins, players normally bull up before the match. Before you bull up, it's either a nice steady fist bump or a handshake. Wish them all the best. Throw your darts, bull up. Little fist bump again, little handshake, whatever you want to do. Have a good game, and off you go. Whoever's throwing first, throws first. The same goes for after the match. The game has just finished, you have just lost. What do? Turn around and walk off? No. You shake the player's hand, you turn around then, you shake the marker's hand, and you shake the checker's hand as well. There's nothing worse than when you win a match, you turn around to shake their hand and they've just walked off, stropping because they've just lost a match. Own up, you just lost, it's a game, shake hands, get it done with. Other than that, as a player, when you throw in, throw your darts, yes, you can scream and shout, but again, you're not a professional, you're not a top player. This isn't a big match, you are playing in the pub. If you throw terrible darts, there's no need to throw your arms about or anything like that. Sway to yourself under your breath. As you're walking past, yes, you can mutter to the marker and checker how you're feeling. But when you're stood behind the player, you should be dead quiet. You shouldn't be making a noise really. No clicking your darts together, because there's nothing worse than someone stood behind you just going. Now obviously, if you get a big score, you hit a 180, you hit a 171, you hit the bullseye to finish, celebrate, have a little celebration, nothing too over the top, you can give it a scream and a shout. Whatever you are personally, the other player should respect the fact that you are happy about what you've just scored. To be an etiquette marker, there's not a lot you need to be doing. Literally, not a lot. You stand there at the board, arms down with a pen in your hand, ready to write the scores down up above. You don't need to be turning around and looking what's going on here, what's going on there. You don't really need to be looking at the board. You are just there to mark. Just come up, scribble the scores down. It is as simple as that. You stay as still as possible because you are in the player's eyesight. Until they have finished throwing, the checker will then tell you what they've scored and you can write it on the board. 100. 85. 140. Now the checker has a bit more responsibility on the game because the checker is effectively the referee, the raspberry of that match. Now you don't have to be screaming and shouting 180, but you should say it loud enough that the checker can hear and the people behind the players can also hear. The people in that room that are watching the game, you want to say it nice and clearly so everyone can hear. As I was saying earlier, the checker also has the responsibility to sort of control the volume that is going on in that room. Music levels normally stay the same throughout the night unless you're playing in a nightclub. The people around the players are getting a bit too rowdy. Then once a player has thrown, the checker can turn around and say, boys, there is a game on, chill it out. Everyone should calm back down for a second. It will creep its way back up, but it shouldn't be too bad. What the checker should be doing is, like the marker, standing still, not moving around, not shouting and laughing at what that person has just scored. I say shouting, obviously announcing the scores is different, but I've seen it where checkers are stood there with their pint in their hand and a vape, and they're vaping away while people are playing, having a pint. They are checking the game, their teammate has just scored a terrible score, and they start laughing and rolling round. That player's collected their darts. You go up to the hockey, ready to throw, and they're still rolling around and laughing, and they're right there, stood next to you effectively. So as a checker, same as a marker, you shouldn't really be doing anything other than checking this game and making sure it's being played to a proper manner. You are the referee of that match, and that is as simple as it is. You are in charge. The way you act reflects on that entire game. I hope you can all agree with what I have said in this video. If there is anything I've missed, drop it in the comments below. Let me know if there's any that you think I have missed out on that should really be brought into the forefront of playing darts in person. Guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button down below. Comment, like I said, let me know what you think and if there's anything I missed out on. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There are plenty more videos coming in the near future. So yeah, look out for those. As always, my friends, peace out, stay safe, and keep them sharp.